Hey, good day, everybody. Still here for the daily market pulse. It's Tuesday, December 3rd, 2013. So stocks drop again. They were up a little for a little bit of the day, and then they dropped again. Higher volume once again. So another added distribution day on the S&P. All the indexes now currently trading below the 8th moving average, which then means at least a short-term trend is down, which then means that while there's some stocks out there that are probably still looking good for breakouts, or at least on the long side, you probably start thinking about adding some short positions to your current portfolio and or recent trades or coming trades, just as a hedge and or at least for additional trades that may be of benefit to the downside. So let's see. Right now, it's kind of a weird picture. However, the fact that you got 8 distribution days and you're not actually under pressure is a little odd. But really, there's only been maybe one, maybe two, but certainly one distribution day out of this count that was really sizable and significant that would demonstrate true downside selling type pressure. So it's been a little odd. Um, so let's take a look at the charts. So here again we had the Dow. We had the topping essentially with a little doji, shooting stars, and kind of spinning tops as well. Then of course the rollover yesterday, and then more so today. We said we probably come back down to that blue area that we just outlined yesterday. It's in there now, right in that 16,000. Well, actually went below 16,000 at this point. If it was going to go below 16,000, we might come into that blue area. Down below, which signified the previous drop several days ago, as well as the 20-day moving average. So we'll see what it does from here. It's almost oversold here already at this point as well. The VIX is probably at a point also, we'll see momentarily, that's probably already peaked as well. So I'm looking at, there's a very good solid chance this would be the place for a bounce to occur. You see the lower shadow already on the Dow already forming. In fact, if you go to, let's say, a 15-minute chart, you're going to see the bounce already started. That's what's forming the current lower shadow right now. So that might be enough to say there's going to be a bounce starting as early as tomorrow. We'll see how that goes. The S&P is very similar. You can see the dark cloud cover. It ran into that resistance area, the dark cloud cover high. Couldn't really go anywhere. Spinning top, doji formations, little upper shadows, and then the fade again. Another little lower shadow here as well. Now this is into the 20. This could drop into 1775. We said, but certainly 18,000, which is already there. May have some more downside potentially. We'll see how it goes overnight, and then of course in the morning to see how that pans out. Let's see what else we got. The Nasdaq, of course. So the S&P ended up with the New York Stock Exchange in general having a distribution day. The Nasdaq gap lower held. It's got that little spinning top here, essentially kind of doji-like spinning top. It's kind of holding at the window, but it's actually still below that. But it's at the 8 moving average as well. And actually, I put this that the Nasdaq was below the 8 moving average. That's actually incorrect. I apologize. I thought that's what I saw on the chart earlier, but I guess I missed that. So anyway, I'll have to change that again. But nonetheless, holding above the 8 for now, moving all the way into 4,000 would be support, possibly into the 39.70 area, 39.80 area as well. All of that's possible, but for now, a little bit of selling pressure, a little bit of a profit taking ability here. As we said, the bearish engulfing yesterday, obviously a lower close today that confirms that. So we're looking for some additional downside possibilities here. For our Canadian friends, TSX. TSX came right into that blue line we had, which was that support based on the former pivot. So this is literally going sideways, as you can see, resistance above at 13.5, support right in that 290, almost 300 area. So it dropped fairly aggressively into that area, looking for a bounce here as well. Note the stochastics was already at its lowest peak several days ago. We have a lower price today, and it's not at that lower portion either. So maybe a little bit of a divergence where there might be a bounce. There's certainly some support here, so we be looking for the likelihood of a bounce. If not, you're looking for, if it penetrates lower, it might be a flush, but also you'd be looking for a potential sell-off back into a 13,000 level as possible. You never know. Okay, so with that said, let's move along to some of these others. The US dollar, Canadian dollar is still kind of on the upside here, still going higher for now. Upper shadow. This might be a little fatigued. There's a lot of green candles to the upside. I'd be looking for a pullback maybe into 106 as a test for that breakout area. Treasuries were a little bit on the bullish side for most of the day, but this is still a little confused. The top side of this trend here, all the highs are still going down. The lows were still going down up until the last couple of days, so this may be wedging in a little bit of a small pennant-like formation here. So it needs resolution. It needs to get over the 20-day moving average, which is in red, and then get over the 50 as well. But this could just as easily hold here and then, of course, fall into support once again to retest 130 to 131. A little unresolved here, so I'd be waiting to see what happens on this one. Japanese yen's been selling. US dollar coincidentally has been buying, but here you see the bounce. So the Japanese yen's been selling. It's into a former pivot area here, right there, and did have a reasonable, sizable bounce today. So there's the flush lower, made a new low, and then made a new high for the last 3 days, and then now again still trading higher right now. So I like the formation. It's a bull sash formation where the open was higher than the previous day's close, and now you're still trading higher. Right now, it's looking like it's confirming that bounce to the upside. You'd be looking for a kind of a short squeeze to the upside back toward 99, 0.0099 area potentially. So the yen seems to be bouncing here. Gold not doing much. Flushed yesterday, bounced a little bit today, and now a slight gap higher right now after hours. There's not a whole lot here. It's just essentially testing this around this 1200, 1225 area for now. Nothing really clear, but the small candles, small real bodies are telling you that maybe the selling may be over, that we might be seeing. So if you get a big good bounce with a green candle, that may be a short squeeze. You might be seeing some additional upside thereafter. Crude really moved aggressively today. We had said that there was a bounce intact, like the bounce, like the fact that it flushed, rebounded with what appeared to look like a kind of like an inverted hammer, confirmed into the 20-day moving average, and then really raced higher. If it was going to go anywhere, it needed to get up above the highs of like about 95 to 96. It did so, and again, gapping higher once again into maybe 99 right off the bat. So once it hits 99, then it's going to probably take a pause and pull back somewhat. But right now, it's long oil until that level hits. Let's see, natural gas we figured was probably going to peak maybe a little bit and probably pull back, maybe on signs of fatigue. There's the Harami saying that maybe the buying has in fact slowed down or stopped. That was today's, and it's pausing right now at 395 for the time being. This may come back a little further, but right now it's holding steadily at the support, former resistance of 395. Let's look at the small caps, risk on type of deal here. So that ran into the 1272 extension, reversed immediately back to likely test the support area, which was once a resistance. So change of polarity at the high of the bearish engulfings, back down here at 111.50. So holding there for now. May come down further potentially, but right now it's testing that polarity area. IYT is the transport, same thing. Broke out, came back, tested, broke out again, new high into the 1272, and then now coming back down to maybe test the 20-day as well as the 127, around 127.50, but essentially the change of polarity area as well. Looking for a potential bounce there and support found. Retail, same thing, complete range going sideways. Obviously the trends are still up with the 20 still rising, the 50 still rising. A gap down, but an immediate reversal with a green candle form closing near its high, but there's still a window there formed today. So that could be the potential resistance, including the 8 moving average in blue. That may be resistance as well. But look for a bounce to try to get through that and back up to the highs. If not, if it holds beneath the 8, it might actually get rejected and go back to the lows of 60 once again. Semiconductors, SMH completely sideways with a slight edge maybe to the upside because the lows are still rising. As you can see here with this blue line, essentially the lows are still rising with the top side being sideways for the most part, but it hit the highs recently today. Looking for a break above 41.50 ultimately, but there are a little bit of an indecision candle today. So once again, this in quandary mode, stuck between moving averages and trends. And if we go to the VIX at one time or another we thought might go back up to 1450 right here after this bottom of Morningstar formation. Never quite made it, fell back, retested the lows, and now boom into 1450 and 15. Now it gapped higher, went higher, made a new high, and then faded. There is a window right here that could hold as support, but the idea here would be that this is going to be after a good run up, resistance and a fallback of some kind. Markets are likely to bounce, as we saw earlier, based on the divergence here. So we'll see if that's the case. If that's how it's going to happen or not. So, okay, that concludes and completes our daily market pulse for the day here on Tuesday, December 3rd, 2013.